What kind of music would Bush be playing, Jim?
Very loud music.
Very alternative.
Huh?
Loud Bush music. Bushy music.
Bush. Let's. You want to start with Tim? We have a lot of places to go here. Tim, you are the veteran here. You were on what, 5 seasons now?
Yeah. 5 seasons.
Tremendous. What's that?
Old man.
Old man. Yeah. Do they refer to you as the grandfather of the group here?
Yeah, they do.
A lot of responsibility.
Yeah, but I get back rubs from other cast members, so that's one of the perks.
So after 5 years, that's
cut a steak for him and his
Yeah.
Oh, yes. He starts gumming the meat together.
Yeah.
What kind of pressure do you feel this year with all the talk that's been going on about the program?
What talk? No.
Yes. Don't read those reviews, do you? Huh?
No, I know. It feels actually kind of fun. It's been a good season, I think, so far, right, everybody?
Yeah. Oh,
It really has.
There that was you. Over there.
You want to look at yourselves on TV, you guys?
Now, I see myself every week.
It looks like College Bowl, you know, Penn State.
Yeah.
You know.
So this year, though, I was just saying to you guys before we started that I look so forward to the show because I think there's a real brightness about the cast, and the writing, they're obviously inspired by all of you. And Cheri, you've had a wonderful turn so far. You've gotten to showcase some of the characters that you brought with you, and with Will as well.
Yeah,
Right.
we worked together before this.
And out in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
And I think we have the clip of the cheerleaders, which I begged them to please show, because I think that's so funny. And what was it like? Do we have sound on that one as well? Or you could just do it. There we are.
Get up and do it again. Are you a Spartan?
I think so.
Are you a Spartan?
I think so.
Hey, who's that Spartan hanging upside down?
Now tell me
Who's that
about
Spartan hanging upside down?
It's me.
Cheri, tell me about the dynamic when you and Will, you were actually partners at the Groundlings, essentially.
Well, it was like a group just like this, and we did a lot of stuff on stage together.
Froggy.
There we go. That's how you take care of each other.
And,
Was it nerve-wracking when you were both auditioning, and you must have a fondness for each other, working together in the hopes that you'd both end up at Saturday Night Live?
we helped each other out a lot. I mean, emotionally, you know, a lot. But we even wanted to do something together, but that wouldn't have been, you know, we thought that might have been fun, but you can't really do
It was
that.
actually...
It would have been cheating, exactly.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was actually very nice to have, and I know Nancy, there were a lot of people from Second City, from Chicago, too, so to kind of know people that you were auditioning with was a big comfort.
Seems to be the Farm Club, Second City, and the Groundlings to come over to Saturday Night Live. Let's talk about that for a second, Nancy. You are a young person. You were probably 4 or 5 years old when this show started. Did you watch it in your... Yeah, she's going through the math here.
Well, I'm 17 now.
Yeah, that's right. Did you watch this in junior high and high school and say, someday that's going to be me?
Oh, I didn't even imagine that then. I think the show started, I think I was about 8 or 9, and I just watched it religiously, but I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever be on it.
That's what Jim said when I was talking to him in the green room.
And now that you have realized your wildest dream, is it everything it was cracked up to be, Jim?
Oh, it's definitely correct. But you don't get caught up in the whole, we're at Saturday Night Live, we're still busy.
Right.
You're so busy and just, you know, you're writing sketches and your friend's like, hey, so you're on Saturday Night Live. Like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm on.
Yeah.
Holy moly, what was I thinking?
You really forget? I mean, Molly, when you get up there and Don Pardo says your name, I can't even imagine. There must be a lot of nerves.
Don Pardo.
Right. I don't forget. I think, yeah, yeah, you really do get nervous because it's live. That's the thing that's weird is I've done other shows and I think that you just, that's it. You get one shot and that's it. But it makes the energy so much higher, which is the great thing about it.
Yeah.
Actually, having Don Pardo say your name for the first time.
Yeah.
That was like, oh my God.
That was the weirdest.
Do the voice, you've got it there, don't you?
And Jim Breuer with Molly Shannon. Special musical guest. And you see him in the hallway, and he'll be like, hello, Will. How are you? It's hard not to just go, good dog.
Now, in addition to all these great legends associated with the show, you get to work with the impressive Lorne Michaels, a man who is basically the creator of the show and has been through all these generations of the show. Was there also a sense of nerves and awesomeness when you met him for the first time?
When I still meet him.
Yeah. Does he know your names yet?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I was so excited to meet him. I had dreams about meeting him. Like, I used to think, God, maybe I could just, I wanted to bump into him at a movie line in L.A., or I had dreamt about meeting him for a long time, so when I did meet him, I was just thrilled. He's just such a wonderful person and a huge inspiration and just an incredible leader and just a great man to work with.
Jim, you do a Joe Pesci character, which I have not seen. I think you keep trying to show me the tape. But do we have the tape? Let's take a look at this and come back and talk about it.
No, we're actually going to bump into the next commercial with it.
Thank you so much for telling me that. You want to give us a little example of it?
Oh, well, why don't we take time, do a commercial, and we'll look at a sketch and worry about it later. Say that to a commercial, go to commercial now.
Now, that's something, obviously, that you brought to the show. They didn't say, we want to do a sketch with Joe Pesci, and can you do the kind of situation? Did you come with the character as well? You came with this Catholic girl character.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. I had done that in a stage show in Los Angeles. And it was because I used to get really nervous when I would perform. I would really get nervous, so I thought maybe I could do a character that's really nervous. So it wouldn't matter what she does wrong, if she slips or falls, because it would really, because I was really nervous.
Would Mary Catherine be nervous being here on a talk show today?
Yes. She'd be very nervous.
And what about Wake Up and Smile? Have you picked up anything from us, Nancy, from watching? You know, when you see a talk show parody, I happen to love them. Yeah. But did you model that after anyone?
Of course. No, that was just fun. I mean, it's such a caricature of, that was great. It was really fun to do.
Jim, you have the... Yeah, sorry to wake you up there. He was zoning off. He was thinking about the show that's happening tomorrow. Some of the characters that you've been playing, O.J. Simpson and Johnny Cochran and some of those things, being the only gentleman of color on the program,
Thank you.
I would think that you would have a certain amount of added pressure.
No, not really. I mean, the good thing about it is if something happens in the news and it's an African American, I'm pretty sure it'll be me
on that
singing on the show.
Because I don't think people don't realize that you do, what, about 30 sketches at the top of the week, and it's narrowed down to, what, 8 or 9?
Yeah.
And tell
narrowed it down again right before the show started.
By the time you get to air, I happen to know that sometimes 28, 30 minutes worth is just put aside, and off you go with the material that works. Cheri, how have you learned to manage your expectations during the week as you realize, I'm working so hard on this, and it may never see the light of day?
Each week, it's a new lesson. It truly is, because things could even work well up to dress and get cut for so many different reasons. And you can count on not counting on anything, and that's your safest bet. And don't tell your family, or whoever's coming up, oh, this should be a good week. I think I'm going to have a lot in the show. Right. Then they come up and you're sitting in the audience with them. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. It's like, surprise.
And how have your families reacted for the new guys? What's it been like calling home on Sunday morning?
Molly?
Pretty exciting?
My dad says it's sort of weird comments, like, I always wish he could give really good actor comments, but he's like, oh, you've got very good presence.
Parents say those things.
Like, dang.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the parents always comment on things. You look really handsome. Now, did you like the sketch? Yeah, but your hair looked great. Yeah. You looked healthy.
My mother will comment about the show, but she'll never talk about me. She'll talk about other cast members. It was a great show. Oh, Weekend Update was so good. It's like, yeah.
Oh, good.
Isn't it weird that we all call home to get that, little pat on the back from our parents? I do it at the end of the show every day to call and say, how did we do today? She'll say, this segment was good, but that one you did, why did you even bother,
Well, one of the things that I remember from being at the show was there is that insular feeling. When you're there, it's that very unreal world because you've been there for 6 solid days. Some of you have slept in your offices, literally. And by the time the show is off the air, you're so relieved and elated and the excitement. And then the next day, you get all that feedback, and they say, you say, wasn't it great? And they say, what are you talking about? So what about that aspect of that world and the world you're working in?
I think, it's weird because we just spend so much time around people whose comedy is your business that a lot of things, you could say something funny and people will be like, that's funny, and I appreciate it.
And
it's like, well, I'm not going to laugh.
Up and read through. Everybody was on the floor and read through.
But it's just weird, and then you get home, you call home, and it's just, normal people who haven't done this for years, and you really get an idea of what the public wants or what they really like.
Anybody here talk to Billy Crystal or Dan Aykroyd or somebody and find out their thoughts? Did they give you any hints, or have you had no contact at all with some of the alumni?
I saw Kevin Nealon in a mall in Los Angeles, and he took a swing at me. So
he said, I'm not working anymore.
Yeah. No, I was too embarrassed. I was too shy to say hi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And even though we looked at each other, and I think he recognized me,
But that was
yeah. That was,
But Tim, what advice do you give everybody? You're watching this new dynamic, and you're the old hat here.
I really keep to myself. I don't really give out advice.
I see.
No, I'm kidding.
Sucked you right in there.
It's true. That's why it got really quiet in here. I don't know if I've ever given out any advice. I mean,
Take this opportunity this one time.
I would say save your money. That'd be first thing. Save your money. And to just never stop working hard at it, you know? Because that's the thing about the show is you can never relax because you always got a show the next week. So you just got to continue to work hard, you know?
Is there ever a time so far, you've only been doing this 8 or 9 weeks, where a sketch has come up and you've been put in a situation and you didn't really want to do it? Would you stand up and say no, or do you just go through it? Jim's laughing. Tell me.
No.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Just laugh because I have that giggles. Has nothing to do with the reference.
Ever happened?
You know what? It's weird because we were talking about it earlier in the week, and the fact that you sometimes have to play smaller roles to help other people's sketches out, and you need to do your best in those roles because there'll be times when you'll need someone else to play a small role in your sketch.
Isn't that something you've learned, though, from your days at the Groundlings?
Oh, I think, yeah. Coming from a sketch comedy background, you always have to do that. And
like you're saying, you know, people remember you. You know, if it's tiny but really funny, people remember it, and it doesn't matter how big it was.
That's right.
I think there's been a good respect, too. I mean, I've had sketches where I've asked some people, like, would you mind doing that? And if they say, I don't know if that's really funny, you don't take it hard. You just go, yeah, you know what, you're right. Yeah, because I don't want to make you look bad.
We have all this talent. We've got to take a break. And we have all this talent. We figured, why don't we get a little interactive and active with our
We're going to play a game.
We're going to play a game. It's going to be sort of like the old win, lose, or draw. It's called Tri-Bond, and we're going to do that with the stars of Saturday Night Live and a lot more. Maureen McGovern's here and Harrison Ford. Stay tuned to Biggers and Summers.
He's all mine.
Next week, a personal talk with Whitney Houston about friendships, men, and her baby.
I used to tell myself